Every coach I know has signed up a client, done the first session, and then realized halfway through the package that something's off. Maybe the client thought sessions were unlimited. Maybe you never set an end date. Maybe the payment structure was vague, and now you're chasing invoices. The thing that would have prevented every single one of those headaches is a coaching agreement. And most coaches either skip it entirely or copy a random PDF off the internet that doesn't actually match how they work. In this video, I'll walk you through the exact 6-part framework I use to write a coaching agreement that sets clear expectations from day one. Plus, the one mistake that quietly breaks most coach-client relationships around session 3. Before we go any further, there's a distinction that trips up almost every new coach. An agreement is not the same thing as a contract, and I'll get to why that matters in a second, but first, here's the short version. A contract is the legal document. It's the long, detailed, signed thing that covers cancellation policy, confidentiality, liability, all the stuff a lawyer cares about. A coaching agreement is different. It's the plain language summary you send your client after the discovery call, usually in an email that lays out what you agreed to work on together. The scope, the schedule, the fees, the next steps. You still need a contract. I'm not telling you to skip that. But the contract sits in the background as a legal backstop, while the agreement is the document both of you actually read and refer back to during the coaching engagement. Most coaches conflate the two, which is why their onboarding emails are either 3 sentences long and vague, or a 12-page PDF nobody reads. You want both. The contract protects you legally. The agreement keeps both of you aligned. So, let's get into the 6 pieces. The first one is scope. This sounds obvious, but almost every coach I've worked with gets this wrong on their first try. Scope means, what exactly are you offering this client, and what are you not offering? The outcome you're working toward, the number of sessions, the length of each session, anything extra like chat support, voice memos between calls, accountability check-ins, workbooks, all of that. If your client thinks they're getting unlimited texting and you meant 1 text per week, that's a scope problem, not a personality problem. Here's how I write it. I open with the outcome in 1 sentence. Something like, together, we'll work on getting your coaching business off the ground and landing your first 3 paying clients. Then I list the deliverables underneath it. 6 sessions over 3 months, 50 minutes each. Voxer support between sessions, Monday through Friday, 24-hour response time. That's it. Specific enough that neither of us has to guess. The second piece is timeline. This is the one most coaches skip, and it's the single biggest source of session 3 disaster. Without a clear time frame, clients drift. They miss a session, then another, and suddenly 6 months have passed, and you've only done 2 calls, and they still technically have sessions on the books. Meanwhile, you're either giving away free coaching because you feel bad, or trying to awkwardly enforce a rule that was never written down. Set an expiry date, every package, every client, no exceptions. If you sell a 6-session package, the sessions expire in 4 months or 6 months or whatever. Feels right. But you pick a number and you say it up front. This is not you being rigid. It's you protecting your energy and your schedule so you can actually take on new clients and grow. And it protects your client too. Deadlines create momentum. Open-ended coaching creates drift. I set mine up in Paperbell, so the expiry is baked right into the package. The client sees it when they book, it's in the confirmation, and they can't schedule sessions past the expiry date. No awkward conversations. The third piece is your client's responsibilities. Here's something most coaches don't realize. Your client doesn't automatically know what's expected of them. They're not lazy. They're just new to this. So when you don't spell it out, they assume coaching is something that happens to them during the call, and the rest of the week they go about their lives and wait for the next session. Then you wonder why they're not making progress. Tell them what you need from them. If there's an intake form, tell them it needs to be filled out before session 1. If there's homework between sessions, say how long it takes. 20 minutes, an hour, whatever. If you send reflection prompts on Wednesdays, tell them that too. And if you have an offboarding survey at the end, mention it up front so they don't vanish after the last session. I want to be really clear about this part. You're not micromanaging. You're setting them up to get the most out of the coaching. The clients who follow through, they're the ones who came in knowing exactly what was expected. Fourth is terms. This is where you summarize the big rules from your contract in plain language. Cancellation policy, rescheduling window, no-show policy. You don't need to repeat every clause from the legal document, just the ones that come up all the time. I tell clients they need to give 24 hours notice to reschedule. If they no-show without notice, the session counts as used. That's it. 2 sentences. And because it's in the agreement email, they can't say they didn't know. Piece number 5, fees. And this is the value bomb of the whole framework, because how you present fees actually changes whether clients pay on time or drag out payments for weeks. Most coaches break their fees down by the session. 6 sessions at $200 each, total $1,200. Don't do this. Price the package as a whole and quote the total only. Because the moment you say $200 a session, the client starts calculating whether each individual call was worth $200, and that's a terrible frame for coaching. Coaching isn't an hourly service. It's a transformation. The value is the outcome you're getting them to, not the 60 minutes on Zoom. Here's how I structure it. The total investment is $1,500, payable in full before our first session, or 2 payments of $775, with the second due 30 days after the first. That's the whole thing. 1 number, 1 due date, or 1 installment schedule, payable upfront or on a milestone. I use Paperbell for this because it's payment first, meaning the client has to pay before they can book their next session. No awkward follow-up emails, no chasing. The system enforces the policy for me. And the 6th piece is next steps. What does the client do after they read this email and decide, yes, let's do this? If it takes them 3 different emails and a scheduling back and forth to get set up, you've already lost momentum. Make it 1 click. In my setup, the next step is a single link. They click it, they read the contract, they sign it digitally, they pay, they book their first session, they get access to the intake form and any package materials, all in one flow. I don't have to do anything. That's the whole point of having a system. The friction between I want to work with you and we've started working is the exact moment most coaching engagements die, so you remove as much of it as possible. So remember what I said at the start about most coach-client relationships breaking around session 3? Here's the callback. Almost every time that happens, it's because one of these 6 pieces was missing or vague. The scope was fuzzy, the timeline never existed, the responsibilities weren't set out loud, the cancellation policy lived only in the contract, the fees were broken down in a weird way, or the onboarding had too many steps. Fix those 6 things, and you fix 90% of the issues that come up mid-engagement. Here's the template I use. Subject line, coaching agreement, and next steps. First paragraph, I'm excited about working together. Here's a summary of our engagement. Then 5 short sections. Coaching process overview, so the outcome and what's included. Schedule, so session frequency and expiry. Payment, so total cost and due date. Cancellation policy, so the 2-sentence version. And next steps with a single link. Sign off with a line about reaching out if they have questions. Done. 10 minutes to write. And it prevents about a year's worth of messy conversations. So here's what to do this week. Open a doc, block 30 minutes, and write your coaching agreement using those 6 pieces. Scope, timeline, responsibilities, terms, fees, next steps. Keep it in plain language. Then set up the send once system so it goes out automatically after every discovery call. I use Paperbell for mine because it handles the contract, the agreement, the payment, and the booking all in one link, and you can try it free. The link's in the description. Your future clients will be so much easier to work with when everyone's on the same page from day 1.